good, but that's the thing that kind of brings their number.
And coming off a win against the Santos, missing. Mitchell driving and flips the layup.
You can see it's worked.
And nearly 10 more possessions. The Warriors are going to need terminated the dribble, cutting Pajemski, and then
Their bingo card this year for
the shocking.
and they're happy to have them really rebounding, so he helps their rebound.
Perimeter shooter, and there's Mitchell for three. Good defender. We saw him in Sacramento for Horford tonight. Moody taking.
And Moses Moody is raising his hand saying Moses Moody wants to have a bounce back game.
In the three
Warriors to compete.
Wiggins for the big. Ella Larson spots up somebody.
That's what he's known for.
Pajemski breaking the paint again. Little run.
Attacking the offensive glass.
They've been playing well in this building. Moody drives
Up to Shaq, but not enough
tonight. And there's Norman going to somehow try to get something up and block. Double team Larson.
Team that's not as seasoned as Andrew Wiggins. Not
Way here, have yet to make a field goal. There's a good shot attempt to Santos. Guys out in the first round, knock him out.
fourth when it comes to their three-point. They're hitting you everywhere. So
Pella Larson had 1 year.
he went to Kentucky.
I'll see you.
No, but they have all these different combinations you don't normally see.
Buddy Hield
In the play, so stay aggressive. His game, the cleanest footwork.
field goal. Midway through the first. Tavion Mitchell finding Norman Powell.
Get back, help him recover.
And Buddy Hield. Well, just to catch that. GP2 and open thrills.
You just refine yourself. I feel like the way low pace and trying to young big, he's bouncing.
Sidestep three. And Pat will flip it up.
Teams when it comes to transition points, just run, look for seam position to cut off drives. There's a lot. Get it into the middle.
Montecchio, huge Buddy game. He had 5 made 3. Montecchio missed the layup.
On threes, which is not easy to do because
Think about that for a second. Games in 30 days. In 14.
Now these guys get their opportunities.
This week in 3 practices. Moses Moody in open 3. Bruce Smith. And Quentin Post went straight up. He's going to get in the lane. Like it. Montecchio for the baseline. Quentin Post with a baby hook.
Everybody does. They just come in. They don't.
The Oculus are down only 12. Moody in open 3. Nifty move.
Listen, I played in the game. Involved in the game. That's a pretty good pass as a player, and you're still chasing a fish.
You can't play. If the Heat get 3 happy from their non-bucket, I'll take it. Wiggins on the post-up. We've seen that many times.
Show and go. With a full court press. Sometimes
Richard and Moody.
The backdoor cut and
setting up Fontecchio. Spotting Moody one more time. And Mo's
at bad intentions.
But I like him. Caquez. He lost it and coming back for that rebound. Diving on the deck. And Post another opportunity.
Self-capitalize instead of chucking up another.
Again, and here comes Drew Smith driving off.
Defensively, too. They're just so tough-minded.
Roll there and floating it up and out. Where
the best paint point teams.
Fast food with more beef than a Big Mac.
Let's initiate, have a traditional point guard.
The 3 out of nothing. Ticked iron there.
People there at times. Even with, he'll get some offensive rebounds.
Little V-neck sweater. It's shopped out.
It's also swag.
GP2.
You need shooters, right? You got
yeah, man. But for halftime,
the Jams can live with that.
TJD.
Right now, so much so they had to huddle side, and TJD's at the front.
I mean, just the over Buddy, the easiest bucket in a way, and here come the Warriors again. Moving much better this quarter. Pajemski 3 on 3s. What's the score?
Chance points. They're looking to convert on more of these. Heat are short-handed.
Man, Moody driving into traffic.
Larson and wall him off, but
Adebayo. Quentin Post an open 3. He got overs.
He's going back door. Pat Spencer thought he was
ruled that he was in the upward shooting mode.
3 points.
Rebound. Trying to create some each way. Just say, let's calm that down. But Spencer, that'll shoot over a 3. Wiggins denied.
He's in the start.
It was not Clay. It was not exclusive weekly streaming show.
Everybody has the green light.
You just take the last shot as the clock extending that out. Trace with the rebound and lay it up.
Defense has been amazing. Norman Powell,
Jimmy Butler, Draymond
Person on Trace Jackson Davis. Just
Sweden has always been neutral. So the Warriors saw 10 times or 12.5. Wiggins catching first against Portland, Monday against himself, and Trace lays it up.
Out there.
Well, what Bam is also saying, it's getting harder.
They can't.
Along with Pajemski, Trace Jackson, Adebayo, great defender, good hand. Moses was throwing up a he put finals when he played for Toronto. Just the math would say that.
In there, look for those opportunities, especially against draw another foul on him.
Average 124 and nobody. And Wiggins will lay it up and in. 26 season are the turnovers. This is just down. Ricocheting out to Powell.
Confidence from the franchise.
Well,
Both of these
are recognized a deep three, and he made. Those are the type of shots you need to make. Adebayo missing there. This is good enough to win this game. The question: GP2 down the lane. If you Davion Mitchell, good post with Dave Pajemski. Shot clock at 1.
So long closeout when you skip it over that ball movement. Show and go. Cuts. Sometimes you can skip it across. Get a little
heat mindset. You're sicker. Went post. There. Adebayo, the corner 3.
They're in his zone.
Akez challenge will bring you under the water too.
Yeah.
Jang, both the U.S. men and women both.
They like hang on for dear life.
4-point game. No chance. He hit the post out of the corner. It was 6. Leads the team in assists. Norman Powell from the big half. He's got 8. 5. Just miss and then chase. Just dump it up there and went post for 3.
Quick passes and they're helping off the guys.
Went post up. Show and go.
And get to the mid-range the entire rest of this game.
All the guys grab.
This is exactly what you want. Balls all over the offensive glass.
And basically the end of the draft.
It's back-to-backs, a fast pace.
Santos.
Now you're getting to the basket. You're threatening.
A little Warrior love this half, if you don't mind.
The crowd letting them hear it now.
Akez grabbing it again, putting it up. Ware will catch and shoot.
Circle and got that one. That's all out effort.
That's Spencer.
So they can recover.
Santos.
The rest of the bench
shooting 35%. Wiggins.
Hard to do, just at least a piece nearby. So they have to.
Santos made 1.
Make it tough for them to block. You would have hoped for if you're the Warriors. You need the jankiness.
First rule here: take the last shot. He will take the last shot. It is a 3.
They're struggling to get hyped here.
Wiggins for the baseline.
The way to get. I'm speaking too soon. No.
Ware down the lane and Spencer off 5. Santos open 3.
Shoot like that.
Montecchio 50%. They react. You can't whack a guy.
There was fouls happening, but back down on that. So now you got the top.
And now there's 83.
They're going to up their intensity defensively. They're going
away, but the lob and very unfortunate points for the Dub. Zone offense, but you need it tonight. 4th here. Montecchio.
Trace Jackson Davis is blindside.
Battling. Akez blocked it.
Santos in the middle.
Running. Shot clock at 1. Ware for 3.
Teams are going, if we get active with our.
Mentioned they're 6-1 at home. And courtesy of California Community College.
That's where go to one spot by themselves. Said he'd spend like 1 hour.
Powell attacking. Nice step to get him in there. Pajemski. Gas you have left in the tank. Powell on the attack. Jan 1, they're going to have a ton of home. We could talk shooting and read to 14. They the Warriors this year.
Force.
Right.
Which ones can we control?
Right. Pajemski, little Sacramento game was competitive. Tonight was competitive.
It takes a higher level of folk when turnovers. Does it up here and there, and it's understandable.
Just had the Pajemski floater. 30 points under their average. That Spencer fade away. Okay, because their plus minus is not going to get it done. He'd had that 21-foot. Nice pass.
Focus level.
Adebayo for.
Man.
You have to pitch a shutout here. Bam from the foul line, and you lose the game tonight. Buddy Hield corner. They've gone to Powell and Adebayo. Driving, flipping. We need to flip it up to beat the buzzer.
Definitely need to address.
You could just start subbing out guys that turn the ball. My bad. That's you won't win enough games.
On that bench over there said it, and obviously
he did. Yeah. Pajemski down Wednesday. New Orleans on Saturday. Norman Powell. Pat inside. Wiggins.
They kind of figured he's been wonderful,
but definitely competitive for the 6. Two good friends in the NBA. Friday night, finally
He just kept going. He's moving at a different speed out there.
Well, what Bam is also saying,
You're able to fight. You're just working harder.
they can't. Second half with Will Richard, along with Pajemski, Trace Jackson.
Now you have your split action.
Adebayo, great defender, good hand. Got to make something out of nothing at 3. Moses was throwing up a
Getting the bonus. You got the bonus in the second quarter. And
Powell's always been a good defender. We saw him in the finals when he played for Toronto. But you got to get north of 30% shooting. Just the math would say that.
the time you see you can expose someone in there, look for those opportunities, especially against size in there. Throw it inside. Draw another foul on it.
Keep waiting to run away with this. They're saying we average 124 and nobody gets shots up. And Wiggins will lay it up and in. For the Warriors' 25-26 season are the turnovers. This is just 3. That long rebound, ricocheting out to Powell.
Have that sense of security and the vote of confidence from the franchise.
Well,
Both of these
Quentin post at 3. Spencer recognized it deep 3, and he
make something out of nothing.
Those are the type of shots you need to make.
You can see what happens in the fourth.
Adebayo missing their thing. The defense is good enough to win this game. The question is shooting. GP2 down the lane. If you Davion Mitchell. Good post with David. Skip pass all the way to Pajemski. Shot clock at 1.
Pajemski a little too much, so long closeout when you skip it over there. Anytime you get a chance, especially with that kind of ball movement, show and go.
Free throws courtesy of Kia.
A lot of times you're not going to get those split action cuts. Sometimes you can skip it across, get a
In this effort, right? But give you the Heat mindset.
You're sick to settle down and actually run something here.
Went post.
There those people.
Adebayo, the corner 3.
Warriors have done such a great job defensive. Now they're in a zone.
Akez challenge. You're drowning. Let me hold on to you and bring you under the water too.
Yeah. No one can see.
Yes, they do. In Beijing, both the U.S. men and women both.
I couldn't get off the side. I had to like hang on for dear life. So I was rehabbing. That was tough.
4-point game. Spencer without a bio, no chance. He hit the
just drawn kick game now.
Post out of the corner. Pat Spencer leads the team in rebounds with 6, leads the team in assists.
He's up hoping for these type of games.
Norman Powell from the.
You know he can blast off and have a big half.
He's got 8, 3. Guy Santos kept it alive. Just miss and then right.
Yes.
In hockey they have the dump and chase. Just dump it up there and eat. Went post for 3. Keen to lead the way for the Dubs.
You're just getting quick passes and they're helping off the guys. You have a lead.
Quentin post up. And he healed back to Quentin. A little show and go.
And smart. Quentin post, show and go, get to the mid-range the entire round.
We saw Will Richard. We saw Trace in this game. All the guys drafted.
Hitting mid-range jumpers. This is exactly what you want to bring in the force, quicker to the loose balls, all over the offensive glass.
Finding a gem at basically the end of the draft.
They can't go a lot of these back-to-backs, the fast pace.
DP2 on Fontecchio. He's Santos. He got
mindlessly now you're getting to the basket, you're threatening.
Brazil, the Netherlands, and the Bahamas. A little Warrior love this half, if you don't mind.
He loves a game like this as well. The crowd letting him hear it now. It's Chick-fil-A for the crowd, no wonder.
See? Rebound battle loose. Jaquez grabbing it again, putting it up.
Everything's moving so fast.
Jaquez attacking. Ware will catch and shoot.
Oh, he came from the restricted circle and got that one. That's all-out effort.
Final minute of the third. That's Spencer.
Bear was calling for it for a while. They threw it too late so they could recover.
He's Santos.
He's got Steph hyped. The rest of the bench
completely under the water. Both teams are shooting 35%.
Wing between your man and the basket. Sometimes it's hard to do just at least a piece of your body. So they have to
in the quarter, 11 to shoot. Guy Santos made 1.
If you're Trace Jackson Davis, make it tough for them to block him. Well, honestly, I feel like this is the type of game you would have hoped for if you're the Warriors. Really nice, flowy, you know. You need the jankiness.
Hold the shot clock off. First rule here, take the last shot. At 2, he will take the last shot. It is a 3.
Kind of taking the crowd out of it. They're struggling to get hyped here.
The Heat to begin the fourth. Wiggins for the baseline.
They've been on the other side of it. If the Warriors find a way to get, I'm speaking too soon.
Quick enough.
They have a lot of work to do now.
Wear down the lane, and so
Goes your shot selection.
and Spencer off on
These floaters getting to the rim.
shot clock at 5. Guy Santos open 3.
You got to keep getting stops if you're going to shoot like that. Bonds too congested, restrained.
Montecchio 50%.
Got him on the arm, did a little too much. They
All is gone, but that secondary act, you can't whack a guy
to crack you in the wrist or arm. There was fouls happening, but trying to do that a little more, so they cracked down on that. So now you got the
23s being taken, 10 or
exactly.
so.
Not
and
as
now
many.
there's 83.
Pajemski as much as possible because the Heat are going to up their intensity defensively.
Buddy smartly tapped it away, but the lob,
And that's one of them.
so 5 very unfortunate points for the dub right now. The Warriors play zone offense. Buddy, a volume shooter, but you need it tonight. Your team fouls in the first 3 minutes of the fourth here. Montecchio.
This came from Trace Jackson-Davis's blind side.
For 3. Pajemski battling. Jaquez blocked it.
Look at them in his zone. Look at Guy Santos in the middle.
There's no chance they know how to run it. Shot clock at 1. Montecchio, nice kick out. Kalel Ware for 3.
Reputation around the league, and teams are going, if we get active with our
Mentioned they're 6-1 at home.
winning is a whole other thing.
And a couple free throws, courtesy of California Community College.
They can go to college.com.
That's where you'll see them just go to one spot by themselves. And Kobe used to do that. They said he spent like 1 hour.
Powell attacking. Nice step.
He got Moses Moody to bite just enough to get him in there.
Pajemski lead heading into the fourth. How much gas you have left in the tank? Powell on the attack. Little road heavy stuff. And, you know, Jan 1, they're going to have a ton of home. Okay. And we could talk shooting and read. The points off turnovers are 30-14. It is up and down the roster. It has plagued the Warriors this year.
Looking at the turnovers to figure out, okay, which ones are unforced?
Right.
Which ones can we control?
Right.
That was well done. Shed them.
Jamski, little foul, Horford. And so the Sacramento game was competitive. Tonight was competitive. 21 more shots up.
It takes a higher level of focus the way you should be. 21 turnovers doesn't kind of slow yourself down. You're getting a little sped up here and there, and it's understandable.
Down 11 inside 5 minutes. Just had the Pajemski floater. Defensive effort. You're holding the Heat 30 points under their average. The shot. That Spencer fade away. To win that bracket, they're going to have to win those 2 games because their plus minus is not going to get it done. Within 6. He'd had that 21-foot.
2 guys flashed in the middle there.
Nice pass.
You don't give him any cheap fouls. How's your focus level?
Adebayo for double-figure scores for the Heat.
Guessing that, I think that's the man.
May have to pitch a shutout here. 11 in the quarter. Bam had the big 3. Bam from the foul line. Points off turnovers. That will be the reason you lose the game. The deeper reserves are really guarded tonight. Buddy Hield corner. Gone to Powell and Adebayo. It's 7. There's Bam. Driving. Flipping. Moody at 2. Moody to flip it up to beat the buzzer.
It's a bugaboo, and they need to correct it. Definitely need to address.
Won't do this, but you could just start subbing out guys that turn the ball. It can't be my bad. That's you won't win enough games.
And I'm sure everybody else on that bench over there has said it, and obviously
You win the turnover battle, you're undefeated.
Yeah.
Pajemski down on Monday, Houston on Wednesday, New Orleans on Saturday. Norman Powell. Pat inside. Best plus minus of any Warrior. Wiggins
Executed well, poised under pressure. They kind of
figured 13 assists in the game.
he's been wonderful.
Score will be big. but definitely competitive for the Seasson, while the Heat moved to 9-6. Two good friends, longest tenured coaches in the NBA. Warriors, they'll deal with Portland on Friday night. Finally